I'm 34 weeks pregnant, and my ML just announced she'll be moving in for a few months after I give birth. We never asked. We never agreed. Now I'm being accused of being selfish for protecting my space, my peace, and my postpartum recovery. When you bring new life into the world, you hope your support system will listen to what you need. But what happens when someone tries to hijack that moment under the guise of family? Was I too harsh? Or just drawing the line I needed? I'm 31, married, and 34 weeks pregnant with our first child. This pregnancy has been equal parts magical and overwhelming. Every kick, every heartbeat on the ultrasound. It's surreal. But also, I've never been more exhausted in my life. My husband and I agreed early on that when the baby arrived, we wanted the newborn stage to be just us. No one is moving in. Maybe short visits, but we're both introverts and fiercely protective of our space and peace. I imagined quiet mornings, the three of us learning from each other. Me in oversized sweatpants, baby snuggled to my chest, figuring out breastfeeding and burping and surviving on no sleep, but together, in our rhythm. But apparently, my mother-in-law has other plans. We were over at her house last weekend for dinner. My feet were swollen. I could barely sit comfortably. Halfway through dessert, she casually dropped this, so I'll start moving some of my things in next week, just so it's easier once the baby comes. I'll stay for a few months to help. Just like that. No question. No discussion. Just a declaration. I looked at my husband. He blinked, surprised too, but said nothing. And I was stunned. She didn't ask if we needed her to stay. She didn't ask how I was feeling about postpartum recovery. She didn't even phrase it like a suggestion. It was like she had already made herself part of the plan. Like my home, my recovery was hers to walk into. I took a breath. I knew I had to say something. I appreciate that you want to be supportive, I told her gently, but we've talked about this and decided we want the first few months to ourselves, to bond, adjust, and find our footing as parents. We're not comfortable having anyone move in. She stared at me like I'd slapped her. You're keeping me from my grandchild, she snapped. I sacrificed everything to raise my son into the man you married. I deserve to be there. She didn't stop there. Over the next few days, she began calling my husband in tears. She's shutting me out. I thought she was kind, but now I see her true colors. You used to love your mother. Now she doesn't even let me in the house. Then the text started. From his aunt. His cousin. She even talks to a neighbor. All versions of the same message. I'm being selfish. Ungrateful. Hormonal. But here's the truth they don't want to hear. I'm about to give birth. My body is going to be sore, leaking, and exhausted. My mental health is already on edge. Between sleepless nights, the pressure to breastfeed, and the weight of being responsible for a tiny human 24/7. I need space to fall apart if I need to cry in the bathroom, to walk around half-dressed with a cabbage leaf in my bra. I need to not perform politeness. And I can't do that with someone else living in our home, especially someone who doesn't take no well. To his credit, my husband has stood by me. He's told her multiple times that this isn't happening. But I can see the guilt pulling at him. He hates seeing her cry. He hates being caught between me, his wife, and the mother of his child, and the woman who raised him. But here's the thing. This isn't about choosing sides. It's about boundaries. And whether our home gets to be ours or a battleground of entitlement and expectations. Her whole argument boils down to one idea. I gave up everything for him. So now I get to be part of everything. And while I do respect what she did to raise her son, I didn't marry her. I didn't get pregnant by her. And my postpartum journey isn't hers to insert herself into. Being a grandparent is a privilege, not a right. And it's not a backstage pass to the delivery room or the recovery weeks after. Let's be honest, some people offer help, but what they want is control. They want to be in the mix, in charge, the authority. She's already talked about how she'll show me the real way to swaddle, how I shouldn't hold the baby too much, and that I shouldn't be so obsessed with breastfeeding. This isn't helpful. This is hovering. And in a time when I'll be bleeding, healing, and trying not to lose myself completely, I can't risk someone undermining me in my own home. That question haunts me. Because now, whenever I talk about postpartum planning, I second-guess myself. Am I being too rigid? Should I just grit my teeth and let her stay to keep the peace? Is it cruel to deny a grandmother those early moments? But then I remember, this isn't about punishment. This is about protection. Of my mental health, my marriage, my baby's first experience of peace.